All right, Trig, welcome to your e-learning day video for 2/18/25. This video getting a little late. It's getting to you a little late as you and I both got that call very, very late. And I had nothing ready because I did feel like we were going to be in session. My daughters are in school. So anyway, if as soon as I get these videos out, I will be beginning on videos for possibly tomorrow. Now, don't go spreading rumors that I said we're going to be out. But if we were out today, I am not loving our chances for tomorrow. Anyway, folks, here we are. So juniors, we took the ACT, practice ACT number 2. And, you know, they said people that use this program nationally, that the scores either stayed the same or maybe went down on the second test. So I don't know if that's how much we should take in that. But we did make a little bit of improvement on the math section, a little bit of improvement. Now, you know, I'd like a little more. So the 3 of you juniors that weren't there on Friday, we're going to need to schedule time right after school to do this. Okay, it is A, grade, and B, I need that data. And then I'm going to remove the quiz for section 7.4 to 7.5. We're just going to do 7.4, first little lesson on vectors. And because of not having that quiz, which yay, in 4 weeks, so the first week of the 4th quarter can possibly be talked into the week after that. But that's getting a little too close to the actual ACT. We have a 3rd test that was also purchased, and we are going to set up a time in 8th hour and or beyond, or before school into 1st hour if you're a late starter and you're at Lincoln Land later. But we're going to take that 3rd math test on Horizon, okay? And that will also be grid. All right, seniors, you will schedule a time with me. We'll do a paper version, and then that will cover kind of both these grades you're missing. Okay, so we need more of that data. We'll look one more at math. We're not going to do that for, you know, about 3 weeks or so, possibly 4, probably 4 weeks. All right, but we made a little bit of progress. We want to make more. So those of you that crushed it and made great progress, you got an email. We just want to keep pushing it. All right, we want to keep pushing it, and then we'll be done. All right, so here we are, guys. This is your Trig quarter 3 ACT packet. So if you don't have it on you, then you just need to make some notes. We want to fill this in. All right. So anyway, we're going to start here. Hopefully we did 35. Anyway, 35 is D, 34 is H. Those are kind of hard questions. Anyway, inner living room. Krista has a rectangular rug. We possibly have done this one already, depending on, I think, 2nd hour. You're a little bit ahead. 2nd hour, if you got this already, that's great. Anyway, her rug is, width is 6. That's important. Has an area of 48. She wants to double the area, so now it's 96. All right. But the new rug is going to be 1.5 times the width. So a lot of students are going to pick 12. They're going to pick 12 because they're going to take 8, the length of the original, and multiply it by 1.5 and get 12. But then that is not an area of 96. It's an area of 108. Also on the Horizon 3rd test, as soon as our other 3 students have taken it, I've got good data on questions that as a whole we got less than at a rate of 60%. So we're just going to focus on those as we prep for the actual date. All right. Anyway, got some good data. So 96 is equal to the new width of 9 and the length of L. So the length is 10.6 repeating. It's that one. It's H. J is going to be a very popular wrong answer. All right. Very, very popular wrong answer. Okay. You can see what's coming. So this is the first thing we're doing, folks, and then we are going to have an assignment, all right? Because not all of you are watching these videos, and we're going to see if some points can motivate us here. So for which of the following values of x is the equation true? So just go over here and solve it. Do a little distribution. That's 4x minus 8 minus 3x is x plus 2. You're going to have x minus 8 equals x plus 2. You're going to have negative 8 equals 2, guys. Negative 8 equals 2, and that's a false statement. So negative 8 equals 2, that's false. False means no solution. No solution. Okay? Teacher wants to use 40 inches of a roll of string to form border around a rectangular space on our board. What's the maximum amount of space in square inches? So when we want to maximize that area, and all of these are involved because some's going to be different in calculus when we optimize. It's always going to be square for the win. So it's 10 by 10 by 10 by 10. That's going to be 100. Again, you can try like 12 and 8. 12 and 8, that adds to 40. So there got to be numbers that, well, I guess two numbers that add to 20, because remember, perimeter is twice the length plus twice the width. So you need to find two numbers that add to 20. The length and the width would add to 20, and then it needs to maximize the area. So 15 and 5, that's 75. So it's just 100. 100 is going to maximize the area. All right, so here's what's going on. So don't look at the answers. In 2010, there were 8 streets on the home, and they were valued between $250,000 and $350,000. So 2 new homes were built on the street. One of the homes was a little over $2 million. My goodness. And the other was a little less than $100,000. The value of the 8s remained the same. So which of them increased the most? First off, the median didn't change at all. You're still going to have the same 2 in the middle. So obviously the mean is going to change. The standard deviation, that's the variability of the spread, and that's going to be really affected by 100,000 and 2 million. But here's the thing, guys: the range from low to high, the range before was only 100,000. Now the range is going to be 1.9 million. So you're going to go from 1,900,000. That's the new range. The old range was 100,000. So the range is going to be different by 1.8 million. So it's going to be affected the most, obviously. So it's D. It's not, it can definitely be determined from the given info. It's definitely range. Yeah, the standard deviation is going to be affected. The mean's going to go way up. The median literally doesn't change, but it obviously has to be the range. The range goes up by 1.8 million. And that is crazy. All right, so then we're going to do 40 here. Again, you just get these down whenever we're gonna finish this by the end of next week. Okay, so it's gonna be due probably February 28th. No issue, because we're gonna go through another full length. All right, we're gonna do it. We're just gonna practice tests help us to like, oh shoot, I got 7 weeks and like I don't have the score that I love, so I really need to focus. And then also, as being the adult in the room, I need to force you to focus. Okay. All right, and it's going to be worth it when you achieve. All right, so here's what's going on. So they work what? It says some paints. They paint at the same rates, okay? So that's important. They paint at the same rates. So first employee does 3/7 of the job. The other employee does 1/4 of it. Let's add those together. So that means 9 out of 28. Maybe there's 28 parts of this job, and 9 out of 28 need to be done. Okay. How many hours would it take the third employee to finish? Now. So we got to take 3/7. All right. 3/7. So, because we got info on the first employee. The first employee did these 12 parts out of 28 in 4 hours. Okay. Now, there's a few ways to think about this, but the third employee is going to do 9 out of 28 parts, and 9 out of 28 is 3/4 of 12 out of 28. Just get rid of the 28s. So the third person is going to do 3/4 the work as the first person at the same rate. You're going to take 3/4 of the work times 4 hours, and that's how you're going to get 3 hours. That's how you're going to get 3 hours. Okay, I think that's the best way to think about it. Is that a particularly easy question? Maybe not, but again, you're at question 40, so they're going to get a little harder. And okay, then we'll talk about the other ones potentially tomorrow. All right, so that's going to be good there because you have an assignment. So trig assignment 218, trig assignment 218. It's going to be put in Skyward as your e-learning assignment. 218. So we're going to go and, you know, you'll learn a few things in your, when this quiz is going to be in your email. All right. You get some updates. All right. So angle C is 74.2 degrees. Side C is 96.3 and angle B is 39.5. Find B. All right, so 96.3 over sine 74.2 is equal to little b over sine 39.5. All right, so this one is nice because you have an obvious go-to ratio, so it's a law of sines, and you have two angles, so the third, you could, I mean, if we were solving this, you could find the third one. But this only says to solve for b, so going to cross multiply. We should be good to go on that one. All right, that one shouldn't be too tough. Go-to ratio, I'm just looking for B, done. All right, law of sines. Number two, find angle A. All right, so I don't have a go-to ratio. Because I don't have a go-to ratio, got to be the law of cosines. So A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine C. Made a little bit of an oopsie there, but A squared is equal to, that's B squared, that's 253.2 squared. All right, so because you're looking for A, I would write down, you know, type this in your calculator and write down exactly what you see. So this squared plus this squared should be that, minus this times this times this should be that. You can pause this if you need to. You're going to take this and subtract it. You're going to have a negative divided by a negative, so it's going to be positive. So you're going to have cosine A equals that ratio. A is cos inverse of that. Something pretty cool, like relatively close to 1, so it's 19.9 degrees. Okay, cosine 1 is going to push you, as you get closer to 1, it's going to push you towards 0. Oh, cool, I can pause it. Look at that, man. Big additions. All right, so pause this whenever you need to. You're the third of 4 videos I'm making here. All right, this morning, and we're going to go directly into getting some more ready, just in case. All right, so now 3 through 5, here at the end. We're going to solve each triangle having the given data. All right, so angle A, side A, go-to ratio, it's law of sines. Law of sines, and little b. And folks, I should have done the check. I do apologize for that. This is good for us, though. So, guys, when you have to solve for that second angle, you do need to do a check here. All right, so I forgot that originally in my notes. We'll add that in. So anyway, little a over sine A is equal to little b over sine b. Cross multiply. All right, sine b is that. You're going to do b is sine inverse of this ratio. Second sine. Or you can do this. I do this divided by 7, enter. Then I do second sine of answer. All right, so now because you had to solve for that second angle, folks, remember, when you do sine of an inverse of that, you're going to get that angle, but because sine is positive in the first and second quadrant, it could also be that angle. Remember, when you type in your calculator, sine inverse has this, you know, special restricted domain of negative pi over 2 to pi over 2. Okay, so you're only going to get that result, but that's a possibility. So here's the check. Here's the check when you solve for that second angle. Now, if I give you 2 angles, you already know what the third one has to be. And the law of cosines, because of side angle side there, there can only be one triangle. So you're going to do 180 minus 17.3. So angle B could also be 162.7. What I do is I take that original angle I was given, 25.2, I add them up, it's 187.9, which is bigger than 180. So that can't be. Can't have a triangle with more than 180 degrees. So no, there is only one possible triangle there. here. So angle B is 17.3 degrees. That means angle C is 180 minus the sum of the two angles you have. Angle C is 137.5. I have angle B, I have angle C. I just need a little c. This will also help you with any homework that's possibly not done. Little a over sine A is equal to little c over sine B. I'm going to do a little cross multiplying. All right, going to do some cross multiplying. I'm going to divide both sides by sine 137.5. Sorry, I'm going to divide both sides by sine 25.2. And C is 11.1, which is bigger than both A and B, so that is legit. All right, that's number 3. Again, pause this whenever you need to, because I got one more video to make, and we have 2 more questions to do, so gotta keep rolling. All right, so here's your initial info. You have angle B, little b. All right, so again, with the law of sines, if you have to solve for that second angle, you're not given 2 angles to begin with, then there is a case, there is the ambiguous case you have to check, okay? So I have a go-to ratio, so it's the law of sines. There it is. Do a little cross multiplying. Okay, sine C is blank. C is sine inverse. Sine inverse of that answer. So C is 81.8 degrees. 81.8 degrees. So that's a fact. Okay, that answer is not wrong. It's just that when I do sine inverse of that ratio, which I think was pretty close to 1, right? When I do sine inverse of that ratio, your calculator is only going to tell you this answer, but it's not going to give you the supplements. See, an angle of, what was that, 98.2 has the same sine ratio as that one. So what I do is I go check. I do 180 minus 81.2, so C could also be 98.2. I take that original value for B, which is 60.1, and I add them together, and I get 158. So last time it was like 187, right? And that's too much, but 158 is less than 180, so that means there's room. That means there's room. That means you could fit a third angle in there. So because it's less than 180 and there is in fact room, that means there are 2 possible triangles that could satisfy those original requirements, okay? So, maybe don't worry about the second triangle right now. Just let's worry about the first triangle. So angle C is that for sure. And then angle A, what is that? Is that 38.1? I think it's 38.1. 38.1. So you have angle C, you have angle A, and then when you find little a, so 37.4 over sine A is equal to little a over sine 38.1. Cross multiply. This is like essentially these 5 questions are gonna be what you do on your quiz, 7.1 to 7.3. This is it. Besides, like, how many triangles. Okay, anyway, we'll look at your quiz review. Divide both sides by sine of 60.1. I get A is 26.6. So again, this is all your first triangle. Now, your second triangle. Okay. Your second triangle, angle C it's that one. It's like we've already found it. That is what angle C is. So you're not like doing double the work. You're just doing this calculation once more. Because angle A is 180 minus that, all right? So you're kind of already on your way. You already know angle C and angle A. Just got to find little a. It's that same go-to ratio, 37.4 over sine 60.1 is equal to little a over sine A. And we're going to cross multiply. Again, make sure in degree mode we get 16.0 for little a. In both possible triangles, little a is the smallest. Smallest side has the smallest angle measurement. All right, folks. Law of cosines, if you have to find that second angle, it is possible that you might have two triangles. Your calculator will tell you when none are possible, because you do, second sine of blank, or to say domain error, same thing with the law of cosines. All right, guys, how do you know when to use the law of cosines? First off, this is from the first semester, guys, 42 degrees, 30 minutes. You can take 30 minutes divided by 60, that's 42.5 degrees. You have no go-to ratio. So because you have no go-to ratio, you have to use the law of cosines. If you don't have a go-to ratio, it's the law of cosines. Okay, so I have angle C. That means I'm going to solve for little c. All right. You can just type this all in. Just take your time, make sure it's incorrect. It's like it is in your calculator, correct, not incorrect. All right. So you can give an answer of 18.7, but because I got to do more math with it, and it's 18.65, it like rounds up. We did quite a bit of rounding there. I'm going to use 18.65 in the law of sines because I have a go-to ratio, but I have a go-to ratio with a rounded answer. So I'm going to use 18.65 for the law of sines. For little c over sine c is equal to little a over sine a. Pretty much always go alphabetical order after when I have to use the law of sines. After I've found my go-to ratio. Cross multiply. Yeah, looking for sine a. Okay, looking for angle a. Sine a is that. A is sine inverse. That was almost 1, so it's close to a 90-degree angle, as maybe we've seen so far. 88.9 degrees. 88.9 degrees is angle A. I already have little c, so angle B is 180 minus the sum of those two angles. All right. That is all I got to mention. So whether I see you on Wednesday or Thursday, this is your first assignment. All right, this is worth 5 points, 10 points, something. It's worth some points. All right, I'm gonna turn this in to me, or I will come around and collect it. But we're gonna get this. All right. Anyway, this is Yak Math Videos signing